Hello, today for review I've got the gadget that I've wanted to review for quite a long time. It's a Bluetooth receiver and it's one of the most famous devices of this category ever created. It's Qudelix 5K. I won't go deep into the history of this brand, you probably know about it. You know about its connection to Ratson and the guys who were behind the Air Studio. Today we will focus on it. It's one of the most feature-packed Bluetooth receivers, definitely big work of software developers, but of course hardware is also on the good level. It uses Qualcomm QCC 5124, if I remember right, the index of this chip. It's a new generation Bluetooth chip made by Qualcomm. It also features dual ES9218 digital to analog converters, work time from 6 to 20 hours because it depends on the gain and on the output you will use. It has single-ended and balanced output and 2 volts RMS from single-ended output and up to 4 volts RMS from the balanced out, and so on and so forth. It can work as a USB digital to analog converter, but actually it's kind of additional functionality because it supports only 96 kHz and 22 bits, and it's let's say software implementation of USB digital to analog converter function, no separate USB chip here. And of course it supports all the modern codecs. It has really great companion software that allows you to customize every single aspect and even something beyond that. So let's have a closer look. As you can see, package is super simple and super minimalistic. It's small box made of recycled paper, so they do care about the environment, and it opens from two sides. From one side you will get the Qudelix itself, and from the other side you'll get short USB-C cable, and second cable is USB-C to USB-C, so you can use it with USB-C charger or with some smartphone or something like that. So basically all the stuff you will need for it. Here it is. As you can probably expect, it's pretty small, made of mainly of plastic, but clip is metal one, really good, really well holding well, so pretty reliable, and I suppose it will be secure, lightweight, and made in minimalistic style. So on the bottom there is a USB to charge and to use it as digital to analog converter. On the top there is 3.5mm and 2.5mm balanced out, and two buttons. So one pair of buttons works for the volume control. So here it is, the side with small groove, it's used for turning on and off. So actually power on, press down and hold it 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, and it's turned on and goes into pairing mode. So here is LED indicator. As you can see, it flashes red and blue, meaning that it's in pairing mode, and pressing this button will return it to the pairing mode. And here is volume control, and if I remember right, yeah, it's volume control, and long presses can be used for track navigation. But is it so or not, we'll see in the next part when I will show you the companion software. Basically it's, really simple device in terms of usage. No screen, unfortunately, because with BTR5 I'm pretty certain that the small screen on such device will be a great addition because it's really convenient. But here you will have great companion app to use it. Here is microphone. Here used MEMS microphone with pretty decent quality, with Qualcomm QCC noise cancellation, and so on. So in terms of work time, it's close to declared, so you can get from 6 hours in the highest on highest gain and balanced out, and more than 10 hours in single-ended, and on the lower gains more than 10, and sometimes even close. Actually, I never got it up to 20 hours. Maybe under some conditions it could be used, it could be achieved, but I'm not sure what exactly should be that conditions. It supports all codecs, and connection quality is really good, so almost zero issues with connectivity, but I think it's something you can expect for such device. And now let's talk about the companion app. It could probably be a pretty lengthy part of video, because there are tons and tons of options. So if you're not interested in this, you can skip it. I'm adding the timestamps to the video description. And anyway, if you want to see what you can control, spoiler everything, let's proceed. So here is the application itself. I'm using the Hibi R8 as a transport because my smartphone is busy filming this video. And upon start, so is it the maximum? Yes, it's maximum brightness. Upon start, you can see the device name, firmware version. So if you tap it, you can see the history of changes. So new firmware is released pretty frequently, and even you can see the remaining warranty. Also here you can power it off, turn on pairing mode, system reset settings, and different types of help. Here is the battery. You can see the chart of battery level, and it's pretty good to see. Also raw numbers, voltage, level, and charger, is it charging now or not. Power controls, there are different options, so should it automatically power on and off, so known if you want to turn it on and off yourself. On at USB digital to analog converter, so when you connect it as digital to analog converter, it will turn on. Off at charger, so if you put it charging somewhere overnight, for example, it could be a nice option, it will be turned off automatically. And on off upon charger, as I think it's an option to use it with your car stereo, so connect it to your car in USB and it will start automatically with car. And enable charger on and off, so if you want to connect it to smartphone and you don't want it to drain battery by charging from smartphone, just turn it off and it will disable charging from host and will turn it back on if it falls below 20% of charge. Different options, so buttons, lock, power on, off, which buttons should be working and how should they work. And as you can see, all items have a detailed instructions, so you always can read and understand. Also single device or multi-point pairing and LED mode with brightness, you can control that. About it, just short information about this application. Next one is input, so state no audio source codec, so let's try to turn something on and see how it will work. So just first track, and it's streaming Bluetooth, selected codec, sample rate, information, bitrate, so everything. So LDAC latency, short aggressive and normal stable, so you can select also really good explanation what it means. Here you can disable some codecs. Receiver can't select exactly one codec to use, but you can disable all but one, because the host device or transport device selects the codec that will be used for the transmission. Or then USB what is it? Sample rate, yeah, forgot that word, and microphone. So you should use built-in or enable inline microphone. And also here you can activate the microphone pass-through mode. It's really convenient during the voice call. When you are answering the call, for example, you can hear your own voice. It's a really convenient feature. Next, volume control. Also tons of options here. So first slider is for the device volume. If you slide this device, the host volume changes. And go away. So we need few seconds. And second one is the device volume itself. And sliding it, you can see the voltage range. So a bit small programming mistake, because here used exponential format when there is no need in it. But you can see it involves RMS. And options: absolute volume means no control of volume from the host device, and it's better volume level. Volume protection, it's really powerful device, so it can be really loud, so to protect it. And also separate volume controls, and also long and lengthy manual. Then digital to analog converter and amplifier. So profile: standard 1 volt RMS. You can select standard mode or performance if you need additional power, but you will pay with battery for that. And normal and high. So it's also power mode. Standard, it's best trade-off for the battery life and sound quality. Performance does the best sound quality, with less battery life. So output power is about power and profile is about sound quality. And also you can select filter, all different filters, and here you can see detailed information what these filters give. And also equalizer, you can turn it on and off. You can select graphical equalizer if you need to adjust something. You can adjust it this way. Or you can use parametric equalizer if you want to adjust it as a parametric equalizer. Also there are presets and so on. Headroom and current preset position. So a lot of options for equalization if you need them. And you can adjust the sound to your likeness as much as you like. As you can see, tons of options and really informative application. So I think it's probably a masterpiece of software engineering. As a developer myself, I really appreciate the work they've done to create such an informative and useful utility. And of course about the sound, so I did main tests on the LDAC performance mode because it's the best quality we can get, but without turning on higher power, because as in-ear monitors, as a headphones, I'm mostly using in-ear monitors. Actually it can drive even power hungry cans, but let's talk about the pairings a bit later. So it's pretty natural in terms of sound, that you can expect. It's powerful, it controls the load really well. There are a few limitations of the wireless codecs. Of course you're losing a bit of bass depth, you're losing a bit of treble extension, also mid resolution is slightly below comparing with same priced digital to analog converters connected via USB. And but still now wireless technologies are on that level where you can expect really good quality, and even with pretty expensive in-ear monitors it performs really well. I'm not sure is there much sense in describing the sound step by step, but let's do it with few examples. So bass detailed, technical, with good but not maximum depth, unfortunately because of the codecs. Really well controlled, not accented, with nice texturing and with balance between the resolution and weight, with good amount of punch and thump and all that other stuff that low frequencies should do. And Musica Nuda, I often use them as an example, and in this case I will also use them. The acoustic double bass sounding really engaging with all that nuances and strings and all that related stuff. Next one is mid frequencies, and mids are also, you know, almost natural, but actually this device makes a slight focus on the macro dynamics and represents mids in a bit forward way. Of course, I'm not speaking about the frequency response, just putting a bit energy towards the mids, especially it's noticeable on the upper mid, so it highlights a bit female voices, makes them more vibrant, more clean and crisp, and a bit more engaging. Sometimes you sacrifice a bit of naturalness for that, but still it's sounding more engaging. Resolution is at maximum level possible in the wireless connection, so that you can expect, and the imaginary stage is above average both in width and in depth. Not hugely above, of course, but still also at the maximum level. And as an example, it's Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, guitars, vocals, all additional instruments, so you know this tune, you know that it's it requires good resolution and it requires a technical source, and now we're living in the era when even wireless receivers can do that. And treble, it has slightly above average extension because the highest treble is well, not spoiled, a bit reduced, extension is a bit reduced by the wireless codecs, but still also good technical, without attempts to highlight it or to hide, a pretty natural device, so that's it. Don't expect the performance of the wired connection, but yet another complex track that usually requires a really good source, good headphones. It's Jazz at the Pawn Shop by Arne Domnérus. I could select every single track, but High Life is just okay. It's really well recorded jazz music that recorded in some nightclub, and you'll get all that audience sounds, clapping and waiters going here and there, and additional noise that is made by audience in this club, and it gives you additional sense of presence, and it's pretty audiophilic record in general. And this device performs really well here, not at the maximum level, because in the wired connection of course you can get richer staging, richer sense of audience, better sense of naturalness, but still in the wireless connection it's really impressive. And actually, I'm briefly described its sound, but actually, you know, for such device it's just natural with a bit forward mid, so that's pretty much it, and it's one of the best characteristics that can be achieved, so no coloration, no issues, no problems, nothing like that. And speaking about the load, it's pretty universal, so in the high power mode it supports 4 volts RMS from the balanced out, so it can drive even power hungry cans, so nice, good performance, and also pretty good background, pretty good black background with low noise level, so creators definitely knew what audience will wait from their device, and they managed to deliver it. So to summarize everything once again about it, it's performant with great application, with a lot of customization options, with all modern codecs supported. A bit confusing controls at first, because you have to remember the difference between left and right buttons and what it means. Also it's a bit plasticish build, but it's also more lightweight, and it has good connection quality, pretty good, nice connection range, and the only issue I've got with it, actually, it's short noise sometimes after the pause. When I pressing play button, there is like less than half a second of some noise, but it's not often happened. Speaking about the comparisons, actually there is only one device that can be compared, it's Fuse BTR5K, and sorry guys, I won't support the opinion that Qudelix is better in every single aspect, you know. For me it's more a matter of preferences, because both devices have their pro and cons, they have stronger and weaker sides. So in terms of build quality, price is the same as far as I know, both cost $110 on Amazon. so they are really equal. Output power is also close. Qudelix is a bit higher, but actually I can't say that it will make much difference in the practical life, because here you can get 1.8 volts RMS from single-ended and 3.6 from the balanced. Here it's 2 and 4 volts RMS. So maybe on some loads it could make a difference, but actually not often. And battery lifetime depends on different modes and so on, but in general, doing comparisons on the LDAC codec and using performance mode here, I got like about 10% higher battery life with Qudelix. What else we can say about them? Both have control applications, but of course Qudelix has more geeky one with more options, with parametric equalizer, and more important here, equalizer works with LDAC if it's important for you. But as a plus from the FIO, it's definitely became better in the USB-C mode, while Qudelix improvement is less here, because probably because of XMOS used here. Also, it has a screen. For me it's a plus, maybe for many people it won't be that important, but I really like it and I still think it's a really good feature for the Bluetooth receiver. But of course the main question is the sound, and here I'd say that they are more or less on par, and it's still a matter of preferences, because this one is a bit more mid-forward, so it's a bit more engaging sound signature, that many can prefer, but FIO is a bit more natural and a bit more resolving, so it's a bit more audiophilic, let's name so. So it's a matter of preferences, what you'd like. I can't definitely say what is better. I prefer FIO's sound a little bit, but it's just my subjective preference, so don't use it as an opinion-making option, so it's just a subjective thing, and many people will prefer Qudelix more. So to summarize this review, actually, it should be done. Qudelix is a really good device, one of the best Bluetooth receivers, especially for a geeky user. It's a killer. It has tons of killer features like control up and so on, and high power, good natural sound, all modern codecs. So it's definitely a worthy purchase if you need a wireless sound. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a nice day.